Right, so here I am with my trusty scissors to remove the outer packaging. It's been packaged with a mixture of some blue plastic, brown tape and some thick paper. It's in its original box, so there should be no problems here. Fingers crossed, everything will be as described. Now this seller actually, there's a bit of wallpaper here as well. Oh, it is wallpaper, that's a lovely... Oh, I should have been a bit more careful there, because some lovely wallpaper, look, that, well, it's recycling, isn't it? A bit of wallpaper to wrap up this, and it's got a blue bag on underneath the wallpaper, so... Actually more than one blue bag, there's two layers of this. Oh, this is going to be a long video. Now anyway, as I was saying, while we're getting on with opening this, the same seller sold this vacuum cleaner a few weeks ago and I placed a bid and didn't win it. And then I was surprised to see another one from the same seller, exactly the same listing, saying it was surplus to requirements. So, this seller has more than one of these that was surplus to requirements. I assumed it was not a business seller, just a regular member of the public who happened to have one of these vacuums unused. It's a Maytag WindTunnel upright. Let me cut that off. It's model U5450, which I believe was available as a U4540 under the Hoover brand in the USA, where this machine originates. And it does actually say on the bottom here, made in the USA, not Mexico, as I believe some Hoover cleaners and carpet washers were made in Mexico. Sadly, that factory has closed down recently, I believe. So most, if not all, of Hoover America's products are actually made in China now. Which is a sad state of affairs, but it's happened all over. It's happened in the UK as well. There's very little you can buy now in the UK that isn't made in China. So, for this one, was made in the good old US of A. Right, so that's all that packaging to one side. So as I said, it's a U5450 WindTunnel upright vacuum cleaner. What does it say about it on the box? Well, it says it's Supreme, Clean Air Upright, Supreme, no, that's all in foreign. I thought I was going to get a few different bullet points, but no. It's just in French, German there. I think that might be Arabic. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's French. Anyway, it's got the embedded dirt finder, 6-stage microfiltration. Allergen filtration as well, it says there. There's not much else it says on the box apart from, no, nothing. Now I have to admit to owning this vacuum before. I had it a few years ago, bought it brand new from somewhere, I can't remember. These were very short-lived in the UK. Maytag, the American company, did launch a range of floor care products for the UK market. But when Maytag and Hoover parted company, I don't know when that was exactly, we didn't get any more Maytag products. So there was a handful of vacuum cleaners. There was a carpet washer called the Agility, again under the Hoover brand in America, and there was also a Maytag floor to floor, which is basically a Hoover floor mate. And of course the Maytag Satellite, which is Hoover Constellation in the USA, which if you want to see about that vacuum, I do have a video on that. So here we go. It is, as described, all lovely and new. In fact, that's the way up I think it should be. So we can see in here all the bits and pieces. So it will require some assembly, like the other Maytag upright, based on the Hoover Caddyvac, that took quite a lot of assembling. So the first thing out of the box is the top handle. No question that this is brand new, never been out of the box. It's got the protective plastic covering over the cleaning tool holder there. And it's even got there's a little, I don't know what you call that, little thingy-majig, for want of a better word. That's removed after you've assembled the handle, I seem to remember. It stops the on-off switch moving, which is important for some reason. There's two holes there which I believe the screws and the bolts and the nuts go through. So there we have the handle with a top hook that turns up and down to release the flex. So that's the first part out. Second thing we have to remove is the owner's manual and the other bits and pieces, the hose, etc. So we'll cut into that carefully. From what I remember of this vacuum, it was very good performing vacuum cleaner, very deep cleaning vacuum. But it did actually damage a carpet in the house I used to live in, because I left it in one place too long. The bristles are very, very aggressive, and the carpet I think was a man-made carpet, and it left a burn mark. Because American uprights in general tend to have very aggressive brush rolls, unlike UK ones which tend to have softer brush rolls now. Right, here we have a two-piece extension tube. I forgot it had two extension tubes, I thought it was just one. But no, there's two there. So that's that. It's been packed in the box in one piece. You've got your little crevice tool and your all-purpose nozzle. No sort of brush on there, it's just the way the plastic's been moulded, but it's not got any sort of a brush. There should be a dusting brush in here as well, which I can't. It's alright, phew. I thought I was back to my days of opening something that was damaged. Well, fingers crossed it isn't. There's nothing wrong so far. I've just noticed. Why they didn't put the dusting brush in with these, I'm not sure, but anyway. That's good. A spare belt. You don't often get a spare belt with cleaners. That obviously forms part of the cleaner and needs assembling on. Looks like the hose may go around that. Speaking of the hose, we've got the hose, and very short, stretchy, quite well made, nice wide diameter, so it shouldn't block easily, but in no way will that clean stairs. It will not reach up the stairs. It'd be fine for doing your upholstery and some above floor cleaning, but not the stairs. I think despite the size and weight of this machine, it does have a stair cleaning handle, so it's possible to use the upright on your stairs. Now, bags seem to be pretty hard to get for this machine in the UK, and they were quite expensive, but I believe there are some Hoover branded bags that fit this. I think it's the H18. I've been doing a bit of research, and I think it's the same one that uses the Turbo Power 2 bag, I think fits. So I'll have to look into that. We only get one spare bag, but I assume there'll be one fitted inside. You've got your big instruction book. It's quite thick, but I assume because it'll have lots of languages in it. Yes, I think there's Spanish in there and all sorts, German. So that will tell us how to assemble the vacuum cleaner, and to be honest, yes, it doesn't look as bad. It looks much easier to assemble than the other Maytag upright I had. That took quite a lot of assembly. So it shouldn't be too long before I get this machine up and running. And finally in this bag we've got the nuts and bolts to secure the handle. Right, now we can get onto the main cleaner. So behind this packaging here to protect it, here we have, in a lovely translucent blue colour, the Maytag upright cleaner. So I think I'll just slide it out. Take the top off first. Just trying to remember how it all went in so I know how to put it back in if I have to. Here's the dusting brush that was missing. Because it's been in the box so long, I don't know how on earth I'm going to get that. Can you see how that's been flattened at the back there? Look, I'm sure that's not supposed to be like that. Again, maybe a soaking in some hot water will coax that brush out. I'm sure that shouldn't be flattened quite like that, but anyway, not too concerned about that. And inside here, it's hard to see unless I angle the camera differently, which is what I will do actually. Now you can see it a bit better now. I've angled the camera up. We've got the cleaner protected by some polystyrene, and the plug is up here. And because this has been in storage so long, this has happened to me before on a few vacuum cleaners. The polystyrene has kind of stuck itself onto the plug. I mean, I can still use that plug. Obviously polystyrene doesn't conduct electricity, but I'll just clean all that off before I plug it in. Let's take off the bottom part there. Welcome to the world, Maytag WindTunnel. How long have you been in that box waiting to be opened? Quite some time, I believe. Out you come. Let's pop the box to one side. A bit more plastic there. And finally, some more packaging actually on the motor hood here to protect it. Very sticky bit of plastic. That's one side. There we go. And there's a bit of tape either side of the bag door, which I'll remove in a moment. So here it is. Not too heavy actually. I know it's not fully assembled, but considering it's a very wide cleaning path, look at that. Very wide brushes. It's not too heavy. So without any further ado, let's get the handle put on and the hose. Okay, so I've got everything out of the box and all the bits. I've had a quick scan of the instructions for assembly, and it's not too complicated on this model. So first thing we need to do, we've got the handle here and this hose support doobry, for want of a better word. Now I need to open up the tool access door first, and this is the back of the handle. And I need to locate, there's two lugs at the top here, I need to locate them on the top. There we are. Before I push down, just need to make sure that this hole here is over one of the holes that you put the bolt through to secure the handle. So push it down, and there we go, that's it. No tools needed for that, no screwdriver, just pushed it down into place, and the hole is over the hole for the nut and bolt. So that's that first bit done. Now I'll take the cleaner itself. Let's move these. Ah, there's a spare bolt I've just noticed. You actually get, no, a nut, sorry, not a spare bolt. You get a spare nut, you get 3 nuts and 2 bolts. So obviously Maytag / Hoover decided that it is possible you'd lose a nut, but you wouldn't lose a bolt. I think the first thing to do is remove the bag door, which I will do, put that to one side. Then I can locate the handle on the top of the cleaner. Let me just check first, I don't want to do anything wrong, just check the instructions, yes. While holding the rack in place, well it is in place, slide handle onto cleaner body. Make sure tab is inserted fully into slot. I assume it means this sticky out bit here is a tab and there is a slot here. So I'll just ensure when I'm putting it down, there. That was very easy, I must say. So now it's a question of the nut and bolts, I think. So you push the bolts into holes on back of handle. So push both bolts through, like that. Turn the cleaner around. And now just above the bag here we've got the bolts sticking through. So I'll just put the nuts on the end there. Just pop it in. I'm just going to loosely tighten it by hand first. And always when you're tightening something by hand, you know that then you've got it correctly threaded. If you go and start tightening something straight away with a screwdriver and you've got a cross thread, you do risk damaging the threads. So that's hand tightened, so now I can turn the machine round, and with my Phillips / Posi-drive screwdriver I can tighten up the bolts. Again, I'm not going to over tighten anything, just until I feel a bit of resistance. There we go. So that's the handle assembled. Now you've got to take the mains cord, which is here, and it needs clipping into several areas on the machine. There's a little clip at the bottom here, one here, here and here. So do that. Oops. This is because the flex enters the cleaner quite low down, so in order to keep it up and out of the way, we've got these clips. Now the last one there is a bit stiff, but yeah, that's it. So there we go, that's the mains lead coming out of the bottom there and clip neatly all the way up to a higher point. So I'll just check my instructions again just to make sure we've done everything correctly. Yes, we have. Press cord into the 3 notches and the clip as shown. 1, 2, 3 notches. Well, there's 3 notches plus another thing. Oh, there's another page. Doesn't say about putting it into this piece, but I assume you do. Or do you? Perhaps I've jumped the gun a bit with that. I assumed it went in there. There's a hook here at the top, just here, where you put the final bit in, I think. Let's just double check this before I put the hose on. No, it does show in the instruction, the illustration does show it's actually clipped into there as well. So I think it's just a case of attaching the hose now. So align end of hose with projections A over slots in dirt duct. So here's the hose. Here's the dirt duct. This is obviously the handle end of the hose, and this end of the hose with the 2 little projections either side, that is what fits into the ducting here. So press in and twist, that's nicely in place. Then where does the hose go? Then, see here, this is the tube that takes the suction to the cleaner head. And when you're using the hose, it's got a little flap on it. So obviously when you want to use it as an upright again, you must lift the flap up. I'm really pleased I've got this now, because when I was the winning bidder, I sort of thought I don't really want it. I sold my last one. I did regret that decision, but then I thought I don't really want it again. But now I've got it and assembling it, I'm pleased I did get this. So there's the hose in place. Now we need to put the tubes, I believe, extension tubes. Where do they live? The other side here. So they go in with the narrower end goes in at the bottom, and then you just click it in place at the top there. And then finally, we'll pop the bag door back in place now. There we go. And we just need to put the small cleaning tools in the little caddy at the top here. So I'll just open up the little translucent flap and put the tools in. So first of all, I'll pop the crevice tool, goes in this slot here, pushes down. Then I believe it's the dusting brush that goes down in the opposite side. And then finally we've got the all-purpose nozzle, which just fits neatly at the front. So you've got all the three cleaning tools at a nice high position inside that little flap. So when you need to use it for above floor cleaning, there's no bending down really. You can just easily access those small cleaning tools. So finally here we have the Maytag WindTunnel bagged upright vacuum cleaner, fully assembled and raring to go, raring to clean my carpets, which aren't very dirty, but most of the dirt on this carpet has been caused by me opening the box. So I'll just take you through the machine from top to bottom, I think. First thing actually, forgot to do is remove this tag. Let's just pop that down. Hopefully I've not missed out something that I should have looked at in the instructions. Can't get that with one hand. Perhaps I'll use my teeth. Come on. Best keep that. Yeah, seems okay. So that's the on-off button. There won't be any sort of electrical contacts inside this, because all this does, there'll be a rod that goes down the handle and it'll switch, which you can't see. I should have shown you before I put the handle on. There was a little red switch behind there, which, providing I've assembled it correctly, that's off and that's on. So coming down, tool caddy, don't have to show you that. You've got your bag door, which you have to press down to remove. So here we have the bag, it just pushes on, and it's a Y type bag. I think they're called Y type bags under the Hoover brand as well. And underneath the bag we've got another filter, which looks like it can be rinsed. It's just quite a coarse fabric-y filter there, slightly spongy, and can't really see in there, but there'll be the motor. No, you can't see the motor, it's all hidden. Actually no, the motor will be motor is under there, but a bit further down. So that's the first protection. Really protects the motor from any debris getting into it if the bag splits or gets through the bag. So like I say, it's just a push fit. So I'll just put it on there for now, but I'll push that on properly when I'm not filming. At the side we've got another filter here, anti-allergen filtration, 100% dust mites, 99.98% ragweed pollen. I'm not sure if we have much ragweed in the UK. I don't know what sort of pollen we do have. I'm fortunate I don't suffer from hay fever. So here is another layered filter, 3 layers there. So that's the final filter, so all the exhaust air will pass through that before exiting the machine through the grill at the side. Alright, it's plastic. It's what some people would call a plastivac, but you know, it's quite well made. Certainly better than a lot of Chinese offerings I've had experience of late. Made in USA, which I think is a better badge to have on it than made in China. So I'm sure a lot of people from America will be agreeing with me. Here we have a nice little feature, the embedded dirt finder. Now there's a Miele vacuum that's recently been offered in the UK from Currys, the Alatech I think it is. Very good offer, and that has Miele's traffic light system. They have a head that has a similar design to this with the traffic lights. So basically the light will be red when the machine is picking up dirt, and it has a little sensor inside so it will detect when dirt is entering the machine. And this hopefully includes deep down dirt, not just surface dirt, so it can detect smaller gritty particles. So basically when you're cleaning, you check the dirty light, and when the dirty light turns to green, it means your carpet is clean. So that's a little handy feature if you really want to know that all the dirt has been removed. Then you've got an amber light there that tells you if you have to check the filter or the bag. There's also a little high/regular switch here. It just makes it more sensitive when you have it on high. So if you want very, very clean carpets, you put it on the high setting, and then it's just a bit more sensitive to the dirt coming in. So you know that when that green light is on, it should have removed all the dirt. For normal use, and if you're not too concerned, you can just leave it on regular. I like to have it on high. I like to know my carpets are clean. Underneath, feature which you don't often see on UK upright cleaners. Whoa, nearly fell then. There we go, is a headlamp. To replace the bulb in there, there's 2 screws. You just have to remove those and you have access to the bulb. I'm assuming it's all going to work. And below that we've got the height control. Now I wouldn't be using this really, it's a very aggressive brush roll, so I don't think I'll use it on a hard floor. But the hard floor setting is on the lowest setting. But I think for regular use on my carpets I'll probably have it on that setting, which is just the one above. But you can go higher. You've got thicker pile carpets, right up to the highest setting when the brush is the highest it can be if you've got very long pile carpets or rugs. But like I say, for my use it'll be 1 notch up from hard floor. I think will be suitable. At the sides, at the bottom, we've got these little rubber teeth to help with the edge cleaning. You have those either side. Let's just turn the machine round and give you a quick look at the back. So I've wrapped up the cable. I'll probably remove this little tag. I don't like those on vacuums. But there will be a sticky, horrible mess behind there, so I'll have to get some of my sticky stuff remover. You've got your little clip to secure the plug end to the flex, so it doesn't all come undone when you're carrying it. Of course there's the 3-pin plug, and again probably my sticky stuff remover will get the rest of that polystyrene that's stuck itself to the plug there. You can just about see the hose going down to the ducting, and then there's a tube down the bottom that takes the suction to the cleaning head, and you've got your 2 extension tubes. Let's have a look at the rating plate. I was going to say let's have a look at the rating plate, but it's not here. I wonder where it is. Could be underneath. That just tells you to do something. Warning. I'll translate all this for you in English. To reduce the risk of electric shock, do not use outdoors or on wet surfaces. So I assume all this other text here says exactly the same thing in other languages. There's another little thing there. Notice This cleaner has a device which will turn the motor off if overheating occurs. Turn switch off and unplug, check for clogs or dirty filter, allow to cool for 30 minutes. And there's even another little sticker here, just hidden. It's a US patent sticker, blah blah blah, lots of numbers there, can't really read. So finally we will have a look underneath, and there we can see the rating plate. Let's just lower the handle and look at the business end of the vacuum. So here we are, Maytag cleaner, www.maytag.com. It's a 1300 watt machine, so it's not a high energy guzzler. And yes, for any of you interested, it was made in the US of A. 2 large wheels at the back, 2 smaller wheels at the front. These wheels are the wheels that move up and down to correspond with the setting you have on the other side, your height setting. Again, we can see the rubber sort of fingers that help to brush along the skirting board. And finally, this large agitator with very stiff brushes. And there's a lot, they're densely packed and there's a lot of them, so that is going to do a very good job. It looks similar to the Hoover activator, but it doesn't have the beta pads. As far as getting up to the edge, no, it won't get that close. The brushes aren't flared outwards like they are, for example, on the Turbo Power 2 I unboxed recently. But anyway, that's the brush roll. Right, well, that's it. I'm not going to turn it on for this particular video because it's probably gone on for far too long. But obviously I will be doing a full demo, pickup test of this vacuum cleaner. There you go, it's lying down, so it will reach under low furniture. And there we go, Maytag WindTunnel. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, as I say, I will be uploading a full demo video of this soon. And I believe one of the next videos also, if you're a Miele fan, I'll be doing a full review and demo of my Miele Hybrid. So until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.